Good afternoon. It is now Tuesday. So let me inform you, every Tuesday until we get all of these series done, you will be able to see all of this stuff that's being done in advance. So I'm hoping it's maybe 8 or 9 different series here, and then we'll come back with something else different. But keep it in mind, just a recap. Last week we talked on a little bit about common sense, and then we talked on things that you could do to help minimize your time. And then we talked about the etiquette of your manners. And then we also talked about just the courtesy that you can show to other people that's driving along the freeway. But today, common sense, once again, this is some of Granny stuff. This is some of your Amy stuff. This is some of the things that when families get together, they're all sitting around eating, a wonderful dinner and everything like that. And with me speaking on that, that reminds me that I'm going to add one more thing on to the common sense that I wasn't going to do before. It's kind of funny, but I think you'll like it. But one of the topics that we're going to talk about today that my mom especially would talk to us, and sometimes you would get your behind kind of tore up if you was talking too much, and they call it confidentiality. And those was one of the things that my parents felt that it just took common sense for you to realize that when a person is talking to you, they don't have to just tell you, well, this is very, very important, and I don't want you to tell anybody. The word confidentiality means don't tell it. It means it's a secret. It means that this person trusts you enough to bear their soul with you, something that's very private to them, something that's very personal, and they trust you. Trust is a really, really big thing. I don't know whether or not if that's something popular in 2025, because the Bible did speak in terms of that the day would come when the hearts of people would wax very cold. It's all about me, I, and myself. So some of those things we all are experiencing in 2025, but that doesn't mean that we have to act in the personality of that. We have a choice between our personality and our character. Our character is on a much higher standards than your personality. We all have a personality. We all have a different side of us that the right situation will allow you to find out who we are under crisis. So that's one of the things that I would like for us to consider at this time on that list. Confidentiality means shh, don't tell it. Keep it to yourself. The next thing that we are going to talk about is age appropriate questions. Let's marinate on that a minute. We live in a society again, which is 2025. People feel that they need to know every little single thing about you. Why? Why? What is that going to do to you? What is that going to do for you? Is it going to make you have more respect for me because you know all of my business? Those were some of the other things that were talked about at the table. That men or women, but especially men, boys, and children, they should not ask the lady, how old is she? Back in the day, they was considered that very personal question, and it depended on how old you were if they would even answer you, because they had to make a quick decision on whether or not were you grown enough. They killed me with that one, honey. You better not dip into the conversation when they talking. They'll let you know in a minute. This is for grown folks. Now, what equate grown folks back then is a totally different terminology of grown now. You almost had to be 25, 26 years old to participate in grown people's conversations back then. You just ain't gonna dip in, because you was considered a little girl. They used to kill me with that. So those are two of the things that we have already went over today, is confidentiality and age appropriate questions. Now, thirdly, I've been wanting to talk about this one for a long, long time. Just in case if you don't know, but I'm more than sure that you do know, I'm trying to be a little sarcastic here. The four-legged animals that walk around, they call them dogs, or either they call them the B word. And I noticed that in 2025, it's popular for people to call each other those names. I don't know why you feel that that's cool. I don't know why that you think that that's ladylike. I don't even know why you would even call your friend a dog, because that's really and truly what it is. I understand that times are different. I understand that this is a different culture. All of the friends that I have, acquaintances, associates, we are all in the same age bracket. If they do this, I don't know anything about it. I've always respected my friends and my acquaintances by calling them by their name or some type of endearment of a name. I never call them out of their name, because in our culture, and let's keep in mind common sense again, just because you are African American, black, whatever you want to call yourself, it does not mean that when one black person does something that they represent all of the black people in the world. That is not true. Just because you have dark skin, that does not mean that everybody black think the same way, feel the same way, was raised the same way, with the same ideas as yours. Different parts of the state, different parts of the country will determine a lot of how you are going to be in your beliefs, depending on your environment, once again, and how you were taught. Key thing to remember. Just because we all have the same color skin, that doesn't mean that we all think alike. That doesn't mean that our environment was such as yours, that have desensitized some people from their own environment. They have no compassion because of the environment that they come from. They definitely don't know anything about love because there wasn't any love shown to them. Some of this generation today is been growing up lovely and loving less. They're having to look at TV and assume that this is the way that it's supposed to be. Once again, it's from a personal opinion, but love is more than just going shopping and buying clothes and having nice things. It comes with accountability and respect, and above all, what type of integrity do you have up under those circumstances, also when you're dealing with common sense. That's the use of the B word. That's what I stand by. That's my personal opinion. It's not accepted. I don't call people out of their names. I definitely will not accept anyone calling me out of my name. I have the name that is on my birth certificate, just like you have the name that is on your birth certificate. Last but least, this is just another thing that my grandparents used to say. Now, if they were in the next room talking and you happened to be in the wall in between, as long as you could do some ear hustling, you was good. Yeah, get the ear hustle on. But the moment you stepped out of your lane and you thought you wanted to come in there and ask them, no, that's not the way that happened. Miss So-and-so said whatever and whatever. There's two things that's going to happen. Either your whole face is going to be turned around to the back of your neck because they done slapped you because you didn't have no business in their conversation. And that's when these people will tell you children need to stay in a children's place and children need to be seen and not heard. Thirdly, You don't dip into grown folks' conversations, regardless if you were ear hustling or not. That same ear that you was hustling with is going to be the same ear that you're going to be deaf in when they get this slap in your ear and your face for hustling. But that's what they call common sense. A lot of those things don't apply today. I find it quite funny because young people today are very disrespectful, and that's not all young people. I'm not saying that about all young people. And once again, I still think that it's very important that you incorporate your manners in whatever it is that you do. I don't care what the world is doing. I don't care what the world is saying. Believe you me, when you are nice to people and it's genuine and you help people, that doesn't mean that everybody's going to like you. That doesn't mean everybody's going to respect you. But the most important thing that you should look at, this is just my opinion once again, it is very important what you do to people, not what they do to you. Because you are responsible then to step into your character. That doesn't mean that you let anybody run over you. That doesn't mean that you let people treat you any kind of way. But if you are genuinely a nice person, like I said before, and at the end of this, we're going to go over everything again, and it will be compiled in a book. You have to pray. This is just me, maybe wrong words, just a suggestion. Just try it. Ask God to give you the spirit of discernment. That means that you are able to discern the individual, where they're coming from, what they're thinking about, their attitude. You're able to discern if you're in an environment and you need to leave quickly because you feel uncomfortable, something is getting ready to happen. That is your gift of discernment kicking in to let you know, look, regardless if everybody else stay, it's time for you to go. And I still believe that it is going to take us and take you a long ways, because it's going to set you apart from the other individuals that have made a decision not to be on a high frequency. That's one of the words that we're going to be looking into as we travel through the journey of the renewing of your mind. I want to say thank you once again. This is Shalia Speak. And please, I would like for you to interact with me, especially on confidentiality, age appropriate, not using the B word, and being able to not touch on pregnant people. Common sense. That doesn't mean everybody's pregnant that wants you to come up and touch them. We live in a society now where we need to ask people, is it okay if I touch you? Is it okay if I hug you? Get permission first. So that's just something to think about. So I will talk to you next Tuesday. Be blessed during the week. And also remember to imagine and dream big. Thank you.